Hello everyone! Today is kind of a special day because today is the 5th anniversary of this channel. On this day 5 years ago, I made a YouTube account and uploaded a few videos for a friend, not having any expectation that come 2019 I'd still be doing it and that I'd have over 2,000 subscribers. To commemorate the occasion, I thought maybe it would be fun to share with you the story behind my channel name. It's something I know people have been curious about. I've told a few people the story, but I thought maybe you'd all like to hear it. It is something that I've gotten comments on and questions about. So here it is, the explanation behind the name Jerome Weaselberry, which is not my real name. I hope that that's not an earth-shattering revelation to anyone. Way back in August of 2014, I filmed a video to send to a long-distance friend in which I showed her a bunch of books that I was going to be bringing with me on a road trip. It was a tongue-in-cheek thing. It was super weird to sit in my room by myself and talk to a camera, but it was fun to make her a video message instead of just sending a plain old email, which is what I would have normally done, and it was fun to play around with my new editing software on my new laptop, even though I had no idea what I was doing. I intended to email this video to her, but unfortunately the file was too big and I had to keep going back and re-editing it to make it shorter, cut out little parts. I kept shaving it down to make it small enough to fit as an attachment. Yes, I could have used Google Drive, but I don't think I knew that that was an option at the time, or I didn't want to do that for some reason. I did eventually get it small enough to email, and then I made another one showing her stuff that I got out of the library, and a couple more videos that were reactions to books she'd recommended. These were all very personalized videos that were meant for her eyes only. The editing was choppy, they were kind of all over the place, and the quality wasn't great because I didn't know anything about optimal lighting and such. Then, all of a sudden, for some reason, I thought, hey, if I just upload these on YouTube, then she could watch them on there and I wouldn't have to edit the life out of them. So I went to set up a YouTube account. This is actually something that I hemmed and hawed over quite a lot. I would start the process and then say, oh, I don't think so, I don't want to do that. It was a big decision, and the biggest problem for me was that I needed a channel name and I couldn't think of anything. I was only making videos for my friend, but I definitely didn't want to use my real name just in case some stranger did happen to come along and watch my videos, which at the time I thought was extremely unlikely, but you never know, obviously. And I also couldn't think of anything descriptive that would indicate what my channel was all about. Other people had cutesy or clever names that went along with their channel's theme, but I didn't even know what my channel theme was. Was I just doing book hauls and book reviews? What if I wanted to talk about movies? I didn't want to be pigeonholed, but I needed a name. Luckily, I had a list of fake names for potential characters in short stories I was thinking of writing. This was during my short story writing phase, when I would be working on one and brainstorming the next, and I had a whole bunch of random names in reserve, ready to fit in with any story ideas I had. So one of the names on the list was Jerome Weaselberry. In my head, Jerome Weaselberry was a mild-mannered, bumbly, very Dickensian character. He and his legal partner, Anatole Simpkins, who was equally bumbly and Dickensian, were country solicitors, and they were gonna end up in some kind of awkward predicament. I don't know what kind, because I never got that far. I never wrote the story. And at this point, I felt pretty confident that I never was going to write that story. I didn't really have much of an idea, and I wasn't really interested in it. And I said, well, why not repurpose the name? I found the name amusing. I liked to say it. I would sometimes refer to myself and my mom as Jerome Weaselberry and Anatole Simpkins, attorneys at law, because why not? We call each other a lot of names. It's kind of hard to explain, so I won't go into that. Plus, I thought, if anyone besides my friend ever does come across this channel, It'll be obvious that it's a fake name, right? No one will think that my name is actually Jerome Weaselberry. It sounds so silly, and no one has the last name Weaselberry. I have long since realized that it's not readily apparent that Weaselberry is a made-up last name, so that was a faulty assumption on my part. I'm still pretty confident, though, that nobody has that last name. I've Googled it, and I'm the only person that comes up. Anyway, I picked Jerome Weaselberry, sent the link to my friend, uploaded a few videos, and the rest, I guess, is history. Pretty soon I did start changing the way I talked to the camera, and my editing got better, and other changes came along, and gradually, the more things I reviewed, the more things I talked about, the more people found me, somehow. And now here we are, and I'm very surprised at the way the whole thing has turned out, and I'm very grateful to everyone who has subscribed to my channel and liked and shared my videos and given me so much encouragement. It's meant a lot. This is not something that comes naturally to me. I am not the kind of person who just volunteers my opinions and talks to a camera easily and talks to strangers. It is all, I don't want to say it's out of my comfort zone. I feel like over the course of 5 years I've kind of made it my comfort zone. But there have been many times when I considered quitting for one reason or another. But knowing you're there and that you like what I do has kept me going. Now, in hindsight, if I'd known people were going to find my channel, would I have picked a different name? Maybe. I might have chosen something that wasn't so hard to say or to spell correctly. I have been asked how it's pronounced, and I have some difficulty answering because I feel like it might not follow proper grammar rules, but I always answer that it doesn't really matter because I just made it up. I say Weaselberry, I say Jerome Weaselberry, but if you say Weiselberry or Weaselberry or Whistleberry, that's fine. Okay. I did change the spelling once from W-E-I to W-I-E because my mom thought that would be more correct, but it looked so horrible and wrong to me that I switched it back after 5 minutes. I do apologize somewhat sheepishly if you've ever had difficulty with the name, or if you're feeling demoralized now because you realize you've been saying it one way and I'm saying it a different way. It doesn't really matter. If you've ever been trying to tell someone about my channel, which is really nice of you, thank you, and that person you're talking to just isn't understanding what you're saying, I get it. I've been there. I feel your pain. It happens to me. I don't think I'd ever change the name, though. Not at this point. It's been 5 years, and I'm content with it. I'm used to it, and I think you're used to it now. Changing it at this point would be like having an identity crisis, and I think it would be bad for all of us. So now you know the story behind the channel name. It's not a reference to anything. It's not some kind of statement. It's not an anagram of my real name. It's just a random name that I made up, that I guess I stole from myself. I hope that you enjoyed hearing the story, and I will be back with more reviews next week. I did kind of need a break. I've made several long videos in the last month or two, and I felt a little bit fried, so I wanted to do something a little different, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again next time. As always, thanks for watching.